7 fatal mistakes you should never make during an abduction. The last one could save your life. We are living through an unprecedented wave of UFO sightings. Thousands of encounters are being reported all over the world, making it clear that something extraordinary is happening. And I know better than anyone how essential it is to know how to behave during an abduction. I don't say this based only on reports or research. I speak from personal experience. I've been through 3 abductions in my lifetime, and each one of them completely changed my perception of what it means to face the unknown. Get ready, because what you're about to discover could be the difference between returning unharmed or carrying scars for the rest of your life. This knowledge isn't just important. It could be your only chance to survive the inexplicable. Have you ever heard of Travis Walton? A logger who was abducted by a mysterious light and disappeared for 5 days, enduring painful procedures after attempting to resist violently. Or Betty and Barney Hill, who made eye contact with beings with hypnotic eyes, ending up with blocked memories and intense trauma. What about Whitley Strieber, whose mind was explored by entities that extracted his most personal memories, creating a terrifying sense of invasion? These are just a few real examples of people who lived through the unimaginable and made fatal mistakes during extraterrestrial abductions. Want to know which mistakes to avoid to stay safe? Stick with me, because the final tip might be the difference between returning with answers or disappearing forever. Number 1, resisting violently. Real case, the Travis Walton incident, Snowflake, Arizona, USA, 1975. Travis Walton, a logger working in the Apache Sitgreaves National Forest, was abducted in 1975 after being struck by a light from a craft while with his team. According to accounts under hypnosis, Travis tried to fight the beings he encountered aboard the craft, using his physical strength. However, this resulted in more aggressive procedures against him, intensifying his physical and mental pain. He disappeared for 5 days and upon returning reported fragmented and terrifying memories of his experience. This case shows that resisting violently not only heightens the terror, but can also trigger even more severe and invasive reactions from the beings. If you find yourself in a similar situation, controlling your instinct to fight might be your only chance to preserve some control. Attempting to react violently to the unknown, especially against something that clearly possesses technology and capabilities far beyond human understanding, invites unpredictable and potentially fatal consequences. Stay calm. No matter how impossible it seems, take deep breaths and carefully observe everything around you. Avoid sudden movements or any action that might be interpreted as a threat. Remember, these beings may have a different perception of what constitutes aggression and could respond mercilessly, using tools or techniques that can paralyze, manipulate, or even cause unbearable physical and psychological pain. Now, imagine the worst-case scenario: being classified as an uncontrollable threat. If these beings decide you're not manageable, your chances of escaping unharmed could disappear completely. What is already terrifying could become a nightmare with no return. Your best defense is not strength, but strategy. Maintain composure, gather information, and survive the moment. Number 2, making prolonged eye contact. Real case: the Betty and Barney Hill incident, New Hampshire, USA, 1961. During the abduction of Betty and Barney Hill, Barney reported making prolonged eye contact with one of the beings while observing the craft through binoculars. He described the creature's eyes as large, penetrating, and intimidating. Afterward, Barney felt sudden paralysis and an intense sense of fear. Under hypnosis, Barney stated that the experience seemed to have blocked part of his conscious memory, possibly due to the prolonged eye contact. Staring directly into the eyes of these beings can be a fatal mistake, a real trap for your mind. Frightening accounts from abductees describe the eyes of these creatures as hypnotic, almost magnetic, capable of deeply penetrating human consciousness. Imagine the terror of feeling your mind being probed, your most intimate memories exposed or even erased as if they never existed. These eyes may be more than just tools for seeing. They could be gateways for total mind control. Avoid direct eye contact at all costs. Divert your gaze and focus on the details around you, such as the craft's layout, sounds, or objects that might help you understand where you are. At any moment that you allow yourself to fix your gaze on them, you could be surrendering your mental freedom. Now think of the worst. What if they can control your thoughts, manipulate your actions, or even implant false memories? You could lose not only your autonomy but also your ability to distinguish what is real. What starts as a simple gaze could become the key to the total loss of your control and identity. Protecting your mind begins with protecting your eyes. Number 3, revealing personal information. Real case, the Whitley Strieber incident, New York, USA, 1985. Whitley Strieber, author of Communion, described several abductions throughout his life, including one in 1985 at his cabin in New York. During hypnosis sessions, he reported that the being seemed to access deep information from his mind, such as details about his family and friends. Strieber believes that thinking about these details during the abduction allowed them to extract more data, creating a sense of invasion and vulnerability. Protecting your memories and thoughts isn't just important, it's vital for your safety. During an abduction, any thought, even involuntary, can be exploited by these beings. Don't let your mind reveal sensitive information, such as where you live, who you love, or what you fear. Thinking about these details could be equivalent to handing over a complete map of your life to something you don't understand. Now imagine the horror. Your mind being probed, your deepest memories exposed like open pages in a book. Worse still, imagine being tracked or manipulated because they have access to everything you tried to keep hidden. Your life, your privacy, your connections, nothing would be safe anymore. The key is to divert your thoughts. Focus on something neutral, like a sequence of numbers or a repetitive image. Any distraction that prevents your mind from fixating on important information could be the difference between staying in control or becoming completely vulnerable. Don't let them turn your own mind into your greatest weakness. Protect your memories, because without them, you could lose what defines who you truly are. Number 4, disobeying basic instructions. Real case, the Herbert Schirmer incident, Ashland, Nebraska, USA, 1967. Police officer Herbert Schirmer was abducted while driving during a night patrol. He reported initially trying to resist the mental commands of the beings, who instructed him to exit his vehicle and follow them. His initial resistance resulted in a sensation of paralysis and intense pressure in his head, forcing him to comply. After the event, Schirmer experienced memory lapses and physical symptoms, such as persistent headaches. Disobeying without a plan can be a fatal mistake, a decision that can turn a tense situation into an absolute nightmare. When confronted with beings possessing abilities or technology far beyond our understanding, defying direct orders without assessing the situation is like playing with the unknown, and the cost could be your complete submission. Don't attempt to react physically if you're not in control of the situation. Resisting without a strategy can provoke unpredictable reactions, such as induced paralysis, physical pain, or even mental manipulation. Your best defense is to resist mentally. Keep your mind alert and observe everything around you. Seemingly insignificant details, like sounds, lights, or objects, may be crucial for understanding where you are or what is happening. Avoid impulsive, abrupt movements, as these could be interpreted as threats. And remember, Recklessly disobeying may cause you to lose the little control you still have, leaving you entirely vulnerable to the will of these beings. Imagine being in a position where every move you make is no longer yours, but theirs. Protecting your autonomy requires caution, calmness, and observation. Without these, you might become just another prisoner of the unknown. Number 5, consuming offered food or drinks. Real case. The Peter Curry incident, Sydney, Australia, 1992. Peter Curry, a Lebanese immigrant living in Australia, reported an abduction where he was forced to consume an unknown liquid. After drinking the substance, he described experiencing intense mental confusion, followed by a loss of consciousness. Upon waking, he was back in his bed but with physical marks and body aches. He believes the substance was used to erase memories of the event. Under no circumstances should you accept or consume anything offered by these beings. Refusing isn't just a choice, it's your only defense against the completely unknown. Substances such as liquids or food reported in abductions are often not meant to nourish. They may alter your perception of reality, erase crucial memories, or even leave you unconscious and vulnerable to procedures you never consented to. Now imagine, you wake up in an unfamiliar place with no memory of what happened. Your body might bear inexplicable marks, and your mind a disturbing void. Not knowing who you are, where you've been, or what was done to you while you were vulnerable is the kind of terror no explanation can alleviate. Eating or drinking what they offer isn't just a mistake. It's an act that surrenders your vulnerability entirely into the hands of the unknown. Resist. Use your willpower to mentally and, if possible, physically refuse. Remember that anything offered could be designed to neutralize your ability to comprehend, react, or even remember. Protecting your consciousness and your body is vital to ensure you don't become just another piece of an unsolvable puzzle. Number 6, showing excessive fear. Real case. The Calvin Parker incident, Pascagoula, Mississippi, USA, 1973. Calvin Parker and Charles Hickson were abducted while fishing. Parker, then 19 years old, went into extreme panic as he was taken aboard the craft. He reported feeling heightened mental pressure and an inability to move, while Hickson, who remained calm, was able to provide a better description of the events and the beings who abducted them. Parker stated that his fear reaction worsened the experience, increasing his vulnerability. Fear can be the most powerful weapon in the hands of these beings. It's not just an emotion, it's a clear signal of vulnerability that they can sense and exploit. Imagine being surrounded by something that completely defies your understanding, and by letting panic take over, handing them control not only of your actions, but also of your mind. Panic can amplify the intensity of the procedures, making them more invasive, more painful, and often impossible to endure. Take deep breaths and regain control. Facing the incomprehensible requires a steady mind, even if fear is lurking. Try focusing on neutral details around you, sounds, lights, or anything that might distract you from panicking. Showing excessive fear may be perceived as weakness, and weakness in situations like these can come at a high cost. It could be the breaking point between what you can endure and what makes you completely vulnerable. Remember, maintaining emotional control isn't just for your sanity. It's a barrier between you and what these beings may do to you. The moment you allow fear to take over, you surrender the last line of defense you have left. Number 7, and most important, forgetting details of the event. Real case, the Frederick Valentich incident, Bass Strait, Australia, 1978. Frederick Valentich was a young pilot who mysteriously disappeared while flying over the Bass Strait. Before losing contact with air traffic control, Valentich reported the presence of a craft following him. Although his case isn't a direct abduction, the few details he managed to relay before disappearing created a mystery that persists to this day. Many believe that if he had been able to document more information, the investigation could have progressed further. Never underestimate the power of details. After an experience as incomprehensible as an abduction, your memory can become your only ally or your greatest loss. As soon as you can, record everything: sounds, smells, shapes, lights, physical sensations, and emotions. Every small fragment can be a piece of a puzzle no one else can solve. The human brain has a natural mechanism to erase or distort traumatic memories. What seems clear in the moment can vanish within minutes or hours. Imagine being so close to uncovering an extraordinary mystery, the eyes of a creature, the sound of a craft, or even a strange pattern on the ground, but never being able to access it again because you relied only on your mind. Think of the most fascinating and terrifying abduction accounts. They're filled with details that alone might seem irrelevant, but together they build a chilling picture. You could uncover something no one has ever perceived or reveal a truth that was hidden. Additionally, documenting details isn't just about understanding what happened, but also about protecting yourself. In many cases, these memories could be your only defense if something happens again. What if you recognize a pattern? What if certain signs serve as a warning? Forgetting or neglecting any information could be the mistake that leaves you even more vulnerable in the future. Here's one final reminder. Abduction is one of humanity's greatest mysteries. Every account, every detail helps us understand something that is still far beyond our comprehension. So, if you go through something like this, remember, staying calm and documenting the details could be the key to unraveling the unknown. Now you know the fatal mistakes that could turn an abduction into an even greater nightmare. But the mystery doesn't stop here. In the next video, we'll reveal the signs that you might be under surveillance by extraterrestrial entities. And believe me, some of these signs might be happening around you right now. If you think you've seen it all, get ready to uncover what they don't want you to know. Don't miss it. And now I want to know, have you ever experienced something unexplainable? Leave your story in the comments. See you in the next mystery. Did you like the content? Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe for more videos like this.